I now invite our esteemed chief guest for the ceremony, Justice Sunil Thomas, sir, former Judge of Kerala High Court, for inaugurating the 7th Online Legal Journalism Program and offer a few words of wisdom and grace. Justice Sunil Thomas, sir, officiated as District Judge in Kerala Judiciary from 2001 to 2015. He was the Registrar of Supreme Court from 2007 to 2014 and sworn in as Additional Judge of High Court of Kerala, appointed as Permanent Judge of High Court of Kerala with effect from April 2017. And he assumed charge of Office of Judicial Member in Central Administrative Tribunal, Ernakulam Bench. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much. Warm good evening to all of you. Respected President of the function, Mr. Nagaraj Narayanan. Let's hope that he will join immediately. Academicians, teachers, my dear law interns. I'm extremely happy to be with you on this occasion of the inauguration of the 7-day law internship program on law journalism, legal journalism. I know that LJRF is doing a lot of work on these aspects and those matters which are of common interest. Common interest in the sense those involve socio-legal issues. Definitely this aspect of law journalism is a matter of relevance now because of obvious and various reasons. As we all know, the media has got a very, very prominent role in the development of democracy. This is a fact which has been sustained, which has been confirmed by the Supreme Court in ever so many decisions. And this is all the more so in the case of law journalism also, or we call it the legal journalism. I'll just remind you of one recent judgment of the Supreme Court, in which the Supreme Court has referred to the case of trial of Lokmanya Balagangadhar Tilak. Recently, that was in the case of Chief Election Commissioner's case. What Justice Chandrachud, while referring to the right of media and also legal journalism, what he said was that the trial of Lokmanya Balagangadhar Tilak was daily reported in the newspapers, which revealed before the public what are the flaws in the procedural laws adopted in the trial. That gave a great impetus to the freedom struggle. So that he highlighted that example as one typical case where the legal journalism has got its significance and has had its impact throughout a long career or period of struggle for independence. Much later, we know that the concept of media has developed a much. Now we are on the online platform. And the scope of legal journalism has developed so much beyond our imagination. Definitely, it has got its own implications, after effects, which we have to be very careful also. So when we say about the legal journalism, I'll tell you how the concept of freedom of speech and expression developed vis-a-vis the freedom of press that was accepted by the Supreme Court of India. In 1986, when the Indian Express newspapers reporters, Indian Express newspapers was Union of India, this was rendered. Supreme Court affirmed that freedom of speech and expression as contemplated under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution takes in the freedom of press also. And that was reiterated by the various Supreme Court decisions in thereafter also. Probably I may say that for the first time, or not a first time, but a most prominent decision regarding the restrictions that should be imposed in the case of legal journalism or journalism as such vis-a-vis public rights are concerned, came up in the case of Indre Hajijai's case. That was the case wherein the Supreme Court said the right to freedom of press is not an absolute one. It is not an unrestricted one. It is not an unregulated one. And the condition imposed was that it must be free, fair, and without affecting the rights of the parties. So that the Supreme Court said that if the law reporting or reporting of cases by the media was found to be not correct, was found to be false, was found to be malicious, was found to be intended to infringe the rights of the parties, press will have to pay for that. So that was one instance, one typical instance where the caution was given by the Supreme Court that freedom of press to that extent may not be absolute one. Then later decisions also, there was so many decisions in which this anxiety was expressed by the Supreme Court. One of the important decisions later was in Manu Sharma's case, Manu Sharma versus NCT Delhi, wherein Manu Sharma faced the trial. Supreme Court said the media trial will have its own implication vis-a-vis the trial is concerned. And the Supreme Court went to the extent of referring to the views of Justice Cardoso, who said that judges are influenced by various factors, various external factors, and indicated that media trial can also, in certain cases, go to the extent of influencing a proper trial of a case. But the question came up again before the Supreme Court in a constitutional bench decision as to whether regulations should be imposed in the case of media reporting of judicial proceedings. That was a case where the constitutional bench of the Supreme Court considered it. That, as most of you may know, that is in Sahara developers case, Sahara versus SEBI. That was a case where the 5 judges bench considered this question as to whether there should be some regulation regarding the reporting of judicial proceedings by the media. Supreme Court said it will not be conducive in the interest of justice and also in the interest of democracy to impose any type of regulation in the case of judicial law reporting. But at the same time, the court gave a caution, the court gave a constitutional guarantee to the public. It guaranteed that in cases wherein one of the litigants felt that publication of articles by the media regarding the trial or the adjudication which he is facing, he has got a right to move the court, especially the constitutional courts, asking for postponement of legal reporting in the media. So that what the Supreme Court said that we are not going to regulate the print media or any media regarding reporting of judicial proceedings. But at the same time, in individual cases, when a party to the list is able to establish before the court that publication of the matter involved before the court, pending before the court, which is a sub judice matter, may infringe his right, may affect his right, the court will be free to pass an order restraining the media from publishing the details or even for postponement of the publication till the time fixed by the court. So the court said that this is a balancing effect, balancing of the interest of the media and the judiciary to ensure that free and fair reporting is there, but at the same time to make the courts, make the reporters or the media within the balance. So that was a law laid down by the Supreme Court. Yet another case came up before the Supreme Court. Suppose the judges are making some comments in a court of law. Can that be reported? Or premature comments made by the judges regarding the facts in the course of hearing, should it be reported? That was a case in which was raised. This was a question raised by the Chief Election Commissioner before the Supreme Court against a comment made by a Madras High Court judge. In that decision, Chief Election Commissioner versus Bhaskar Reddy, Vijay Bhaskar, the Supreme Court said, we are not going to impose any condition regarding the publication of comments made by the court because it's a question of self-regulation. So that what we find is that consistently those courts have been holding the view that courts should not interfere in anticipation in a publication of a media regarding matters which are sub judice. But at the same time, Supreme Court in various decisions have held the parameters when the courts will interfere. The conditions subject to which media reporting is possible in India are, I will tell you that there are 4 conditions. One is that must be a true and accurate accounting of the daily proceedings in the court of law. The second caution laid down by the Supreme Court is that it shall not interfere in the judicial process. Third one is that a reporting of a matter which is sub judice shall not affect the individual rights of the parties, so that the person who publishes it shall not be called for defamation or violating the individual right of the person involved. Fourthly, that should not amount to the contempt of court. Why I am reminding you of these decisions is just to tell the law interns, the prospective law rapporteurs, to know what are the limits within which you will have to function. Definitely, that's a balancing effect. Law reporting, as I told you earlier, with the media so much in the public gaze, is of great importance now. And law reporting, as you all know, that is an amalgam of 2 qualities of 2 different fields. The sound knowledge of a lawyer coupled with the sharp skill of a journalist. These are the 2 qualities which I expect all of you to achieve in the course of these sessions for 7 days. Precondition for to be a good journalist, I will always say that a sound knowledge of the legal proposition, legal laws available in India, abroad, and also the legal history of India. And you should always develop the acumen or the sharpness of an analytical approach to be a good journalist. I have always felt a normal reporting of a matter when it comes to a journalist. What distinguishes a good journalist from an ordinary reporting is that he will find out the catchy word. He will find the aspect which catches the public gaze and will coin that legal issue involved in such a manner that it attracts the public. That's an analytical skill and sharpness of a journalist which you will have to develop with the course of your study. I know that as a law journalist, career is also very attractive now. And future law reporters, I'm sure that you will be able to get a fair aspect of knowledge in the 7 days internship program which you are going to attend. I have seen the module prepared by the organizers, by the foundation. I was so attracted by that module prepared by them and the topics which they have got. I was attracted to find that there is one topic relating how far poetry will influence journalism. Variety of topics have been included. I hope that you will be much benefited from this 7 days internship program. Let each of you be benefited by the classes rendered by effective journalists, law teachers, and academicians. And I wish you all the very best, and also congratulate LJRF for initiating this wonderful program. Wish you all the very best, and I formally declare today's program as open. Thank you very much.